Hey everyone, Joey here with Green Horizon Trade. Let's break down today's ORB Scanner setup, which is December 29th of 2025. Today, the ORB Scanner flagged two really good setups for me today, which was ORBS and SOPA, and both confirmed and followed through cleanly with the setup. It also helped me keep out of WOK, which never confirmed and ended up being one of the weakest names of the day. And I'll show you exactly why. Today is a good reminder that not every early mover deserves a trade, which is, going to WOK, where it was a great mover in pre market, but it never hit it. It never hit the signal. There was activity across several names, but only a few respected their orb levels and gave a clean continuation. Waiting for confirmation made all the difference today in my trading. So let's start with one of the first ones I got in today, which is ORBS. I actually ended up getting into this just a little bit earlier than what I should have, so I didn't respect the trade strategy, but I really liked how it was going. I loved the volume that was coming in. And then so when I put in my order, I forgot to put in as a stop limit. Instead, I put in just a normal stop, just a normal limit order, and it just filled me a little bit earlier than what I like. But luckily, it worked out for me. My strategy for getting out today on both my tickers when I first started, I've talked about having a strategy before going in. It's very important that you do. Was I'm going to follow the EMA 9 line. And that's this bluish white line that I have going on right here in TradingView. I said, hey, look, if it ever dips below this line, I'm going to get out. And it actually did right here. So this line right here, this was my entry point, and this was my exit point right here. So you can see where there's this nice red dagger that came down, and it just took me out. It came back up a little bit more, but as you can see, it started on a downtrend after this. And you can also tell that by the volume just drying up right here. We have high volume coming in, and then just kind of dries up, comes back in, dries up again, and it pulls it. So now, for this trade right here, if you want to get into it, for me, it would have to break this trend line, which it looked like it did break it, and it's coming in. And I would really just wait until it goes above the VWAP. Because most likely, if it does continue going up a little bit, it's putting some lower lows, lower highs. But this VWAP is probably going to put in a lot of resistance right there, and it's going to keep it below. So I'm going to keep monitoring this. I'm out of all my trades, but I'm going to keep monitoring this just to see, how it goes. If you want to see the setups live instead of watching the video after the fact, I have a orb scanner in the link below. There's a free trial if you want to follow along as well. Now let's talk risk and trade management lesson. Okay, I want to talk about trade management today because this is the biggest lesson. My strategy for getting out today, as I mentioned, was simple and it's rule based. Was if the stock dropped below the 9 EMA, I was out. I was done. That rule kept my emotions at check. I wasn't guessing. I wasn't hopping around. I wasn't reacting to my plan. I just stuck to it. So as I was in this trade, as it formed a new 1 minute candle and going up, all I did was I just grabbed my stop loss and I just moved it up with it as I followed along. As it was going up, I just followed along, and that was it. That's all I did. Same thing with my second winner today that I had, which was on SOPA. This one wasn't an explosive. Well, it was somewhat explosive. It was actually a really good trade, but I did lose a lot because it put in a nice red sharp candle. It just put in that dagger right there, and it kind of got me. So I did lose about a good 30 cents per share, which is actually a lot of money. But I did actually gain a lot on this as well. Same thing. So on this one, I actually waited for my orb. Or, sorry, my apologies, not orb. The VWAP. I wanted it to hold support on VWAP because it was so close to it. And so once I saw it hit the VWAP and didn't print below. Now you see there's a candle or a wick right down here that goes below it, but the candle itself does not go below it. And as soon as it put in that green candle, that's when I got in the trade because I knew it was holding support there. And that was from the time I got in, from the time I got out, that was almost 60 cents per share. Okay, if you went in at 1,000 shares, that's a $600 trade on this, which isn't bad. That's a 23% increase from that entry into there going off the VWAP. If you would have stayed until the orb, you still would have done really good. 18%, that's 47 cents. I know a lot of these millionaires, they look for, they go with high volume on here, or not high volume. They buy a ton of shares and they wait for like 20, like a 20-cent move or something like that, and then they get out. And then they wait for the next big, candle, like this one right here. This would have been a good bounce off the VWAP. And this right here, if you would have caught this dip, there's another 45 cents right there. So you could probably, if you took the orb, got out at the same spot, took the bounce off the VWAP, you would have just doubled your money of what you had for today. So this is a good reason why you want to stay disciplined too. As you can see, look, it comes in, bounces off the VWAP, puts in its second higher up, and then it kind of the volume just dies. It just goes out, and that's why you can see this trend just tanks. Now it's below the VWAP again for midday trade, and yet again, it's struggling. It hits the VWAP, and look, it came back down. Well, it didn't hit it, but came close to hitting it, and then just came back down. It won't be able to cross the VWAP today. So now let's talk about walk. Walk is what I mentioned, where you have a lot of volume coming in, and the pre-market, as you can see, it shot right up during pre-market itself. But this one never actually confirmed on the orb strategy. So the orb was actually 593. And you can see, since it never hit it, I was able to stay safe. I mean, look, it opened up, got as high as, like I said, 593. Let's just say some people got in on this green one, 519. Now it's $3.13. Okay, so this is why it's very important to stick with your strategy that you have, because that's a $2 a share loss. Okay, recovering from that, it would be painful. You actually have to probably triple your money just to recover from that little thing. So the lesson today is very simple. As I mentioned, stick to your strategy. ORBS and SOPA rewarded confirmation and disciplined exits, while walk punished anyone trying to predict instead of react. And what I mean by predict, they're like, oh yeah, hey, there was, this moved a lot in pre-market, so it's going to take off. No. Those people got punished. So consistency keeps you in the game. Now, if you want to trade these setups live with clear levels and defined rules, check out the ORB Scanner. The link is below with a free trial. I'll be back tomorrow with another breakdown. I appreciate everyone watching. If you want, next I can talk about the STT scanner or anything like that. So please stay safe in the market, and thank you.